We are from Utkal University and Bharatpur University. Maheshwar and Shaktiranjan, both are my research scholar, that will be and Dr. Ravindra Kumar. Our topic is very simple and at the same time relevant, that is cash holdings behavior of we have taken manufacturing firms, how they have any impact during the financial crisis particularly. So as we know that IFRS, all of us, International Financial Reporting Standards, Companies Act 2013, Indian Accounting Standard, IAS. So these are the emerging regulatory framework. All the financial activities come under that, all the elements of financial statement. If you see the balance sheet of any company, financial statement. Now, in 2018, there are a lot of changes in financial statement. One of the financial statement changes non-current assets, another is current assets. When you say financial management, is all about how you manage your resources. Getting resources is not a problem these days. Money is available. There are different sources of funds, we know that. But putting that into productive use, that is a big problem. That's why International Financial Reporting Standard have categorized all the resources that is used in the business into two categories. One is non-current assets, start with PPE, property, plant and equipment, and ends with financial assets. Earlier, this concept was not there in our financial statement. When you say financial assets, it is a non-physical assets. There is investment made in different securities, bonds, shares, debentures, which can easily be liquidated at the time of need of money funds. At the same time, financial assets is also taken as current assets. Earlier, financial assets we take as either current or non-current. But now we can take it both as current as well as non-current, depending on the principles. Earlier it was rule-based. If something is good, that is good. Now if something is good, it is good under the particular circumstance. The same thing may be bad under another circumstance. For example, we know that trade receivables. If trade receivable is a current asset, it is convertible into cash in 12 months or operating cycle, whichever is higher. If it's more than operating cycle, takes more than operating cycle, let's say 2 years is operating cycle, it is a current. In more than 2 years, that comes under non-current. So while taking the decision about financial management, we have to be very, very careful about current and non-current assets. And one of the most ideal assets of the entire resources, that is cash, as you know that. So it does not generate revenues directly, but it helps. But like your PPE or any investment property or your biological assets, somebody was telling sustainable reporting, it is your beer plants. But cash is a big problem in all sectors. In banking sector is a big problem. They are sitting on the cash. They don't have opportunity to invest. If they have opportunity, then there is a problem, there is NPA. So they have to make a balancing act where how much cash has to be held in the business so that it remains productive in the business. At the same time, it does not affect the bottom line of the business. So the whole purpose of the topic is to know cash holding, how much cash holding is. If cash holding is required, then how much. So for that, we have different motives. As you know that transactional motives, day-to-day expenses we meet that. And another is precautionary to meet the exigency that always is there, contingency is there. And another is your speculative, yes, this is not sustainable. We keep some cash to get certain advantage situation. So those things are required. For that, cash is required. But there are some determinants. Besides these three, we have taken 8 to 10 determinants which also affect cash holding. That will be discussed by my scholar. Another theory is also there, cash theories or cash holding theory. We know that one of the theories that is trade-off. trade-off means it is stochastic theory where cost benefits when they match each other, then we say it's optimum cash balance we should hold. If beyond that it is loss, if below that it is a loss. So there are some theories are there. We have done some literature review to know exactly what are the determinants to be considered for our another financial crisis. I am here to link cash holding and financial crisis. So financial crisis generally we have taken that if financial assets lose their value continuously, if you have invested in your share, debenture, bonds and values continuously goes down, then there is a crisis. That happened in the year 2008 and 9 recently. So we have considered the entire period into three. One is pre-crisis, another is post-crisis, and a middle is the financial crisis. So how financial crisis does it affect cash holdings? If yes, then how much? If pre and post, all three things we have taken together to understand so that companies can hold more cash or less cash during pre, post, and financial crisis. With this, I now invite my these two scholars to carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. With this backdrop, that I want to focus on some of the literature review that has been conducted earlier. That many researchers have done research in a global context. That Paul Overlay in 2015 he conducted the research in Jordan context and found that the crisis is having a positive impact upon the cash holding and cash flow, investment opportunity, dividend, arm size are positively associated with cash holding as leverage, liquid asset substitutes, profitability negatively affect cash flow. In the same way, during crisis period also, that what I find that investment opportunity are positively related and the capital expenditure, cash flow, leverage, dividend, and liquid asset substitutes are negatively related to cash holding. And in post-crisis period also they found some other results. The very basic purpose of highlighting this review relating to three periods is how the impact of different determinants of cash holding is differing over the periods. And however, the Brunel of 2015 in Sweden context found that there is no change in the behavior of the determinants in both pre and post crisis period. And basically, upon the literature review, we have found this is the basic research problem that this study is different from the earlier studies in the sense that the country like India is the emerging country like India is taken as the example. And the second thing is we attempt to investigate the impact of financial crisis in Indian context. And the next thing is that we have accessed the impact of fund-specific determinants on cash holding in three different periods to know whether they are differing or they behave consistently over the period. And basing upon that gap, we have this following research question come into picture that do financial crisis have any impact upon the cash holding? And the second thing is do the fund-specific parameters have different impact and on the cash holding behavior during the financial crisis? And basing upon that, we have the following objective to measure the impact of financial crisis, and third thing is to determine the impact of determinants of cash holding. So the hypothesis is like that. And coming to the research methodology, that we have taken a sample of 500 companies. Initially, we have collected a sample of 17,807, and after deducting the firms with missing financial information, that we arrived at a figure of 500 companies. And the study period has been categorized into three periods. So as the financial crisis was happening during 2008 and 9, that period has been taken as the crisis period. And the period between 5 to 7 has been taken as the pre-crisis period, and the period between 2010 to 17 has been taken as the post-crisis period to make a comparative analysis of the determinants. And before making that analysis, that we have done two more analysis. That first of all, we have done a ANOVA test to know whether there is a significant difference between the cash holding in between three periods. And second thing, that we have taken a dummy variable. Whether that crisis has any impact upon the cash holding or not, for that we have introduced a dummy variable and taking the crisis period as 1 and taking others as 0. And on that basis, we have developed these 4 models. And these are the variable definitions. That cash here that we have measured the cash as a ratio of cash and cash equivalents to net asset, and the net asset is consisting of the total asset minus cash and cash equivalents. And the size has been taken as the natural logarithm of total asset, net asset, and GOP has been measured as the market to book value ratio. The ratio has been taken, leverage has been taken as the total debt scaled by net asset, and cash flow is the ratio of cash flow from operation to net asset. And dividend is a dummy variable that we have taken that there is 1 if the firm is paying dividend and 0 otherwise. And similarly, the end of this net working capital has been calculated as net working capital minus cash and cash equivalent. This has been done to remove the problem of circularity. And like that, we have taken some other variables also. And this is the result of ANOVA. That this ANOVA result that F statistics of 21.679 0.000 is signifying that there is a significant difference in the cash holding between these 3 periods. And for that, for knowing the impact of financial crisis upon the cash holding, that we have introduced the dummy here that the coefficient of the dummy variable is 0.410, having a p value of 0.000. So it shows that, and this the sign is very positive. It shows that during the financial crisis, that cash holding has gone up, and this is very natural that during cash crisis there is a lack of investment avenues, and there is a squeeze in the operation, and the economy is not blooming. That's why it makes the companies more conservative, and they pile up the cashes to put it further when the investment avenues will come up. And this is the comparative analysis of the 3 different how the determinants are behaving over these 3 periods. And here you have seen this, that the farm size is consistently behaving negatively. It means that higher the farm size, the lower the cash holding. But the thing is that during financial crisis, the impact is very less. And in case of the growth opportunities, that the growth opportunities having positive impact in pre-crisis and post-crisis. But during that crisis, it is insignificant. And coming to your leverage is having consistently behaving positively throughout the period, but in that crisis period, that the impact is very less. And in case of cash flow, also that similar behavior positively, but during that crisis period, that impact is more as compared to pre and post crisis period. And in case of dividend, the dividend is found to be significant, positively significant in case of post, but during that period, crisis period, it is insignificant. And in case of net working capital, it is found to be insignificant in pre and during the crisis, but it is positive in case of post crisis period. And the asset tangibility is having negative in pre and post, but during the crisis, the asset tangibility is not having a significant impact. And in the similar way that profitability is negatively affecting your cash holding in pre-crisis period, but it is positively affecting during crisis and post-crisis period. So I invite my co-presenter.
As time is very short, I am directly going to conclude our discussion that. So as he has evidence that the cash holdings is positively affected by the financial crisis, it means the farms are keeping more cash, or farms are going to be more cautious regarding the holding of the cash in the financial crisis period. And we can say that the determinants of cash holdings are significantly varying pre-crisis, crisis, and post-crisis period. With this, I conclude our presentation, and one of the major limitations of our discussion is that we are only confined to manufacturing sector only. It could have been better that if we confined to, we can widen our scope to some other sectors also. And that is also our further scope also. We can do the different other sectors for our analysis. And one of the more scope which we can do for our further analysis like that, even if the same manufacturing, there is some other industries like that, like cement industry, steel industry. So we have not introduced that industry variable, or we may have used that. So that is our scope for further discussion. So with that, we conclude our discussions.